Okay everyone, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the first in a series of videos that I hope to make and complete, where I will be ranking all of my palettes. Obviously, if you saw my palette collection video, which I will link up here in the cards and down below as well, that I have too many palettes that I can realistically all rank at one time in one video. It would be way too long. So instead I have chosen to break it up into snippets of 10 palettes. Not 10 palettes, in snippets of 10 palettes where I rank them, and then hopefully by the end we will have a full palette collection ranked. I have not yet made up my mind about how to incorporate or not incorporate new palettes, because obviously this is my current collection. I have 109 palettes right now, but I do have some on my way to me. So I don't know. I have to think it over a little bit. If anyone has suggestions or an idea or an opinion, I would love to hear it in the comments. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing right now. I also want to incorporate swatches into this video because I wasn't realistically able to swatch all of my palettes for my palette collection, and I talked about this before. I love making swatching videos and I love watching swatching videos. I find them so relaxing, and when I was having anxiety attacks and, major anxiety, the only thing that calmed me a little bit, and genuinely I was trying to fucking meditate. I was it's not working. But when I swatched eyeshadow and watched people swatch eyeshadow, that's the only time that I could calm myself. And I just feel like there can never be enough swatching videos. So hopefully if you like watching people swatch eyeshadow, and I just want to make some relaxing content to watch, that would be my dream. So this is what I'm going to do today. A few things that I want to mention before I, actually get into the palettes is, number one, these ranking videos, I'm almost positive in general the trend of ranking things was started by Kelsey Brianna J. So I will link her channel up in the cards as well as down below. Definitely go check Kelsey out. She is the best. And my up-close swatches, especially individual swatches on my hand and stuff, are inspired by Lauren Made Beauty. I've talked about Lauren endlessly on my channel. I love her channel and I love her content. So I will link her channel in the cards and down below. I'm sure you are both following, or I'm sure you're following both of these amazing creators, but just want to give credit where credit is due. And let's just start off with the bottom 10 palettes in my collection. Parts of this, actually this is probably the easiest, I think, group of palettes that I will be ranking. Honestly, it wasn't too difficult to immediately choose the bottom 10 and then rank them. Parts of this were harder than I thought, but yeah. So the first bottom, my least liked palette. This palette is actually bad. I don't like it, and I would not recommend anyone to get it ever. Please don't get this palette. This is the Makeup Forever 9 Artist Shadow Palette in the third version, version 3. I got this at Winners, I think, for $20, and it was Makeup Forever, let me try the eyeshadow formula. All of these shades, are just satins, but not even good satins. They're just very lackluster, almost some of these shades, this yellow, almost look matte on the lid. There's nothing nice about them. If a satin is good, I can appreciate a satin, it's not super texture enhancing, it's not super sparkly, lots of people prefer them for every day. Fine, whatever, that's a matter of personal preference. These just do not perform well at all. and I do not like them. Swatching them and using them gives some of them hard pan, and I would not recommend this palette for any money at all. I do not like it. Number 108 is the Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani palette. I used to love this palette. Like, I have major dips in this palette. I used this all of the time, truly. When I first got this years and years ago, whenever it was released, I got this as a Christmas present. But now I just don't reach for it. I don't like it. I don't like the way a lot of the shadows perform. And I honestly prefer my like naked palettes to the formula of this. I don't even feel like they're really the same. This last row of shimmers is just, they're dry. They don't have any like body to them. And there are so many light beiges in this palette that I just don't really reach for it that often or ever, frankly. And yeah, I mean, I appreciate the fact that there's like deeper shades and a black in this row for sure, but I don't know. I don't love this palette. It doesn't spark that much joy anymore. I keep it around because I don't really get rid of my palettes, but it's definitely, that was also an easy one to place in the second to last slot, whatever. thought this was going to end up ranking higher, but the KVD Vegan Beauty Shade and Light Eye Palette, am I recording? Yes, just gotta make sure, ranks at 107. I think I just, number one, I don't like how many beiges there are. Like there's, why do we need a pure white and an off-white? I don't know. And there's like, I just don't, it's not something that is my preference anymore. Again, when I first bought this, I must have bought this like with a Sephora credit card. Sephora gift card or something. I bought this when I was in high school. It's okay. I'm actually using this shade Lazarus, this cool toned like gray as a contour today. But I don't know, it just doesn't really excite me anymore. I haven't used it in a while as eyeshadow. I used to really love the mattes, but I have so many other palettes that I love so much now that I would reach for and do reach for over this all the time. And I'm not as into matte, all matte palettes. I used to love all matte palettes, but now they don't excite me as much. Coming in at 106 is the Smashbox Cover Shot Nova eyeshadow palette. This was a gift from my neighbor, actually, randomly enough. I was always curious as to how these Smashbox like cover shot palettes performed. I'm not gonna lie, didn't really hear great things about them. Most people, it seemed, don't love them. But I mean, it's a purpley color story. I love purples. I was surprised by this shimmer. I actually really liked the way this shimmer looked on the lids, but it just is not my matte formula preference. I really I used it. I used all the shades and I don't think about it that often and I don't reach for it. It's just not a matte formula that I think is that great, and I have so many other purples in my collection that I would reach for every time over this palette.
pair of jeans, a shirt or two. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. Yeah. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night.
Next is the, coming in at number 105, is the Urban Decay Naked 3. Now, I was looking at all my Naked palettes and I was like, how am I gonna rank these? Like, I don't know. I actually still don't hate the shimmer formulas in here. To be honest, I think they're still pretty nice, and I actually still like the matte formula, so I don't like hate the formula of this palette. This just ranks the lowest out of all of them because there are a lot of shades that I don't love in this palette specifically. Like this shade is a dud for me, this shade Burnout. It's like not even really a satin, but it's not a matte. This shade Dust is very fucking dusty, true to its name. The shade Dark Side is again like not really a shimmer or a satin, it's just kind of weird. And I feel like these three shades are very similar to each other, so I don't know. I used to, again, use this palette all the time. I actually wore this for my high school graduation, but I mean, I don't really reach for my Naked palettes that often anyway, but yeah, that ranks lowest.
My photos, where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head.
Number 105. is the original Urban Decay Naked palette. This I have actually talked about before, but this is recent, more recent to me. When Urban Decay was discontinuing this palette, I got this as a Christmas gift. And I was like, honestly, kind of nice, because now I have the original Naked palette in my collection to have, you know, as mems. I don't hate this, I just wish that there was a darker matte in this. And some of the shades I don't love. Like the shade Dark Horse is it's again like not really a shimmer, not even really a satin, it's just not really that great. But I don't hate it actually. But I also have so many other neutral palettes that I would reach for above this one. I do like the cool toned mattes in here though. I actually do reach for them on occasion.
I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And you may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. 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 I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I just need to. I just need to clear my head. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. Oh, clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. When it hurts like this, we climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight.
Coming in at number 103 is the Urban Decay Naked 2. This is honestly all smashed up in here, so I'm not going to open it and show you. The pans are falling out, the shadows are broken. I keep it just to have and to remember. This was my first high-end palette ever, and I just have so many it's so weird, like I have so many memories using this palette. This was my everyday palette. Shockingly, I have no pans in here, which is frankly, like, I can't even really wrap my mind around how I haven't hit pan on any shade, but I remember like looking up tutorials and following tutorials with this palette, and I've used this palette in like every single way. This is at the top of the Naked list just because I actually think the color selection is still my favorite. I used to obviously love it, and then I stopped liking it when I was really into warm tones. Not that I'm not into warm tones anymore, but now I've kind of come back full circle again, and I really love like cool toned neutral shimmers. So that's the top of the Naked palette pile.
and that's all we'll ever like. sometimes, but I'd never say goodbye or ever leave this stuff behind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way, yeah. When it hurts like this, ever like, wait it, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, wait it, ever like, when it hurts like this, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, ever like, when it hurts like this.
Next we have coming in at number 102, the e.l.f. Mad for Matte 2 Summer Breeze palette. I bought this because Kathleen Lights used to talk about this all the time. It's fine, you know, like it works for the price. You know, we have a black, there's some depth, but again, it's an all matte palette. It doesn't really excite me. This is ranked a little bit higher because I do like how there's a little bit more color selection than the Kat Von, or KVD, excuse me, palette, but I just don't really reach for it. And I have so many other mattes that I love so much more. Then number 101 is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This again is the original palette. It's all like dented and smushed. You probably won't be able to see that, but I used to like bring this everywhere I went. Like if I ever left anywhere for a weekend or whatever. And this is ranked more like the highest of most of my like really old palettes because For my makeup preferences today, it still ticks a lot of my boxes. Like, we have a range of depth, we have some color variation, but like I would reach for this probably over most of my other older palettes just because we have like deeper mattes and a variety of shimmers and that kind of thing. I think I prefer the shimmers and the Naked palettes over this one, but the deep mattes really edge this one out a little bit. number 100, we have the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette in Phoenix. This was a purchase I made last year. It was on sale. It was when I was in the height of my impulse buying things that were on sale phase. And I initially bought this because I thought that the color story was very similar to Good Sport. And it was on sale. I was like, let me try NYX's eyeshadow formula out. It just is okay. Like, I also have a lot of warm toned mattes and the shimmers in here are not the best. It's fine. It's like just fine, like it's not the best. I would not recommend this pretty much to anyone. I think there are I just made like the weirdest throat sound in the back of my throat. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyway. Pull myself together. Okay, I just would basically recommend this to no one, especially because there are so many options for like warm toned shadows, warm toned neutrals, but this is probably the closest color story that I've ever seen to Good Sport. I'm just gonna say that. I actually fucking breezed through that. Normally I talk just forever and ever and ever, and I can't believe how quickly that went by. Hopefully you guys are excited about this series. I personally am really excited. I'm going to try to really like bang through this and not let it be a series that like I let dwindle and run super long, especially because frankly I'm constantly bringing new palettes. Oh my god, just keep updated on my channel. And I did a thing that I'm like kind of happy about, but also like a little bit ashamed. So keep an eye out for a video that's really truly going to expose me for all my shopping flaws. Anyway, okay. And yeah, let me know if you're into it or not. I guess if you're not, that's still an important thing to know. And I will see you in my next video, whichever that will be. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!